Shalom, shalom. It's Sister Kate here, and I am driving, obviously, and I've got my buddy with me, and an assistant who shall remain unnamed and not be having to be online. And the picture at the beginning is kind of a clue to where am I. You guys can guess that while I'm talking. I'm taking a little bit of a break, but I will be back on Shofar very soon. I think I wanted to do a live stream about 2 days ago, and I'm pretty sure the topic was going to be this latest thing with the CDC. CDC, their last quarantine, it's not long, it's dealing, hey,
on the road
Babo. Yes, just can't wait to get on the road again.
You keep your eyes on the road, right? Let me read the stuff.
Okay, the CDC's policies, that's the word I was looking for, policies for quarantining and how to handle, what do you do with an American citizen who is sick and needs to be quarantined because, we have rights, and where do they go and who does their medical treatment?
Lone Star Living says
hey, Lone Star Living. Do you recognize where I am? Their rules and their policies, the last time they were updated was 1940. Uh-oh. Hang on. That's not even going to show up.
Gathering Grove says good evening.
Good evening.
Deborah says shalom, Sister Kate.
Hey, Deborah, shalom. Their rules were from 1940, and so that's your brother.
That's funny. The quarantine rules were
they're very outdated, right? And then they tried to get what was called the final rule, or the rule in the end, or something in the 70s about how to.
Christine Taylor says good
Hey,
evening.
Christine, shalom. How to quarantine people again? Where do they go? Who's paying for it? Is insurance going to pay for your stay in the hospital when the government tells you they're going to quarantine you? I think I can get over. And so they're having
Star Child says shalom.
Hey, Star Child, shalom. And they actually, I think it's a requirement that they put their new rules, their new policies, ideas out to the public.
I'm going to hold it there so you keep your eyes on the road and people can look at the outside and try to guess where we are.
That's fine. But people to make commentary on what the policies are and
keep your eyes on
the legal ramifications and things like that. Now it may come into play because as more people in the United States have been in contact, they brought the people back from Wuhan and, various and sundry locations. They've been shunted off to military facilities and so on.
Bubba guesses we are in Kansas.
We are not in Kansas, Bubba. This is kind of what Western Kansas looks like, but this is not
Someone
Kansas.
guesses West Texas. Lone Star Living. Sarah says Oklahoma. You are in Kansas. Ooh, or Kansas. We are not in Kansas.
No, Lone Star Living, guess West Texas.
Close.
Close, very close. I wonder how you know that, Lone Star Living. Anyway, their rules, they're having to update them again, and the military is being told, get your quarantine stuff together, because when forts are used, then the fort, you're using their water, their electricity. If medical supplies are needed, then
Sarah Hoskins guesses New Mexico.
Bing, 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 bing. Yep.
No, we are not.
No, we're not near Dallas. I knew it. He's going to keep calling back.
I'll text him on my phone.
Okay.
NWA Prepper says howdy.
Hey, hello, Brother Travis. We're talking about the CDC rules for quarantining people, and the point I wanted to get to was it's something you need to consider as an American citizen, because if the coronavirus comes into your area, like in your county or your city, and for whatever reason you are so suspect, and I'm not trying to make it sound illegal, it's not illegal, but through circumstance, you may have been exposed, then the CDC is going to hold you, detain you 72 hours before deciding what they're going to do with you next. So let's just pretend somebody comes into your church and you didn't know it, it's a niece of somebody, but they had been in contact with someone else, or possible contact with someone else who had this virus. The CDC is going to have to, or the local health authorities, are going to have to take everybody in the church.
Looks kind of like don't drink the water. Oh, it's like a foreign country. Greetings, everyone.
Hello, everybody. We're talking about the coronavirus right now, and the CDC and the legal, not ramifications, but they have to figure out legally how to quarantine American citizens, what rights you have versus the right of the public good in regards to this virus. And they're going to have to, if you've been exposed, they're going to have to assess whether we're going to stick you in a quarantine. You know, did you have a severe reaction? Are you going to have to go to an O and keep you for weeks? You call up work and say, hey, the CDC's got me for 3 days, I can't show up. And now I've got to go 14 days to some military quarantine camp. Your work may not be happy with it, but they may not be able to do anything about it because it's a legal government move to quarantine people, just like trying to shut down whole cities. Like, would your insurance company pay for that, or would FedGov pay for that? And if you have no insurance, are you going to get a bill for that? Because that'd be a lot of money to be put in quarantine somewhere and need all that medical care. So this is something people should start thinking about now. And maybe even see what your work policy would be. Like, let's just pretend I work for Target. Target's a huge, multinational, whatever, huge corporation. Lots and lots of employees. What is their policy if the government says, we got to hold you for 3 days? If you call in and say, I'm being held by the CDC, is Target going to fire you? Can they furlough you? Can they temporarily lay you off? Will they make allowance that you can be gone from your job for 21 days? Would they have to start a whole force of people who are on call to come take over your job until you're able to come back to it? And then, like they do with Christmas help. Christmas help gets hired on for the Christmas season, and then they know they're not going to stay on.
Seasonal, you mean seasonal workers?
Like seasonal help, seasonal workers. They know they're not going to, and they're okay with that. What are people saying?
It's all the same comments. Oh, you have to turn right and drive back to Wyoming to get back into the USA. LOL. Medical leave. Stop talking to her, Dana. She is driving. Hello, all. Shalom, Sister Kate and friends. Okay, it wasn't showing me.
Yeah, you have to scroll.
Yeah, I didn't know that. LOL, you started at Wes.
Oh, is Wes S on there?
Yeah, WES.
Yes, Wes S.
Yes, there is. Stop talking to her, Dana. She's driving.
Dana's Biddy Boo.
Hi, Biddy Boo.
Wes, where am I? If you don't get this answer right, I will be shocked. So, it is something for all of us as preppers to realize, to think about, to decide. For Pastor and I, it's not that big a deal. We're retired. The biggest deal for us would be who will take care of our animals. And, if we've been in contact with someone that our congregation hasn't, then we would fall back to people in the congregation who are familiar with our routine and our critters, and have critters themselves and understand how to take care of them and things like that. So it's a much easier answer for us.
They're going to be checking the people at your job if your swab is positive, even if you don't look sick, because this can spread before the virus progresses.
That's exactly right.
Looks like excellent tornado chasing territory. And Wes S. guessed that we were in New Mexico.
Wes S. Nobody can pull the wool over your eyes, brother. You've been around, you know some things.
Being exposed to sickness is going to be hard to avoid for me, says NWA Prepper.
Right.
Nice nail, Sister Kate's daughter. Thank you.
Yeah. She really doesn't want to be involved, though. She's just helping me out technically. But, yeah, NWA Prepper is like on a fire department and all involved in that.
Sustainable Steward says hello, blessings from Wisconsin.
Yeah,
WI.
Sister Stacy. She is one of the most prepared food operating, dehydrating, canning, feeding her animals from stuff she grows women I know.
Sustainable Steward says no trees. Oh boy.
Yeah, there's a lot of scrub out here.
Oh, we're getting into rush hour.
Are we? All these oil field workers all getting off work and we're in there.
Yeah, there's like 5 trucks.
Everybody's driving a truck. There's a Range Rover for crying out loud. And we also have our long-term quarantine plan. Like, we can shut our property off and not let anybody in or out unless they climb through like a mile.
Star Child says, my guess is it's going to be out of the individual's pocket, but as there are fewer products, we'll target care. Looks like East Texas, so far the Antelope Crossing and the Little Chrome Bulldogs. Says the one from Wisconsin, I think.
The Antelope Crossing and the Little Bulldogs.
Yeah, I don't know what bulldogs.
I'm not sure.
We haven't passed the Antelope Crossing sign.
Did we?
I
She's
don't
very
know, I don't
observant,
think so.
because I didn't notice the Antelope Crossing sign.
Oh, so watch
All
for
the-
the Antelope Crossing and the Little Bulldog.
I was going to say some of the trucks have little bulldogs on them.
That's probably what he's talking about.
Yes.
Let me see if I can get these comments. There we go. It looks like right East Texas. Watch out for the antelopes and the Mack trucks.
Yeah, Mack trucks.
Yes,
yeah,
we
the little
do.
bulldogs. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We are prepped, says Sustainable Stewards. Food, water, and ready to be at home for months if need be. Not taking this thing lightly, but also no fear.
Absolutely. And she ain't joking. Like, that woman got it all going on her farmstead. And I don't know that much about Wisconsin, and I don't know how many neighbors you have close to you, Miss Stacy, but you are you're not going to have any problems.
David the Viking says hello.
Hey, David the Viking, shalom. Welcome to the channel.
So, Thelma and Louise, what are you up?
I went and I'm visiting my daughter. I also have a brother in the state, and I told him we were within a couple hours drive, and he drove out, so I got to see my brother and my niece, which I haven't seen in years.
If you have a pre-existing condition like asthma or you've been on chemo, the virus could be a death sentence.
I know, right? The respiratory element of it is really quite serious.
Are y'all already past the mountains or coming to them?
I don't remember seeing any notes.
This has caused one of my lifelong friends to wake up and want to prepare. I hope it is not too little too late, says NWA Prepper.
Yeah, really. Well, it's never too late to prepare, you know that, but by golly, you better start putting stuff up. Like, if it's aerosolized, if it can be spread by them just breathing into the air and not necessarily coughing and sneezing on you, that's going to make that spread really, really quickly.
We have neighbors, says Sustainable Steward, but that has been taken into consideration. I already feed 50 families in my CSA. I have no issue
Wow.
feeding my neighbors willfully. Vicky says, shalom, sister. If you are going west, you have to go through the mountains, says Wes S.
We are not going west. We are going east. So she said she feeds 50 families with her CSA.
CSA, what's CSA?
It's one of those, like, they support your farm and you feed them kind of agreements. I forget what it's called.
What does the CSA stand for? What's the actual term?
She'll tell you.
Right. Sugar Creek Homestead of Tennessee.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Community-supported agriculture.
Yeah, community supported. Yeah.
So, do people, like, pay her each month and she gives them, like, peaches or whatever that she grabs?
And she's got the most adorable Pyrenees dogs who are going to have puppies. Oh my gosh.
Wes S. says, then don't turn right to get to Wyoming. We will end up in Mexico if we go there.
Correct. And we don't want to go there.
Sustainable Stewards, they pay me in February, March for 22 weeks, 1 bushel of produce meats. No wrong terms at Albuquerque, says Okie Storm 2, sir.
Okay.
Where are you two going? Don't worry about it.
Upset.
That's right. That was from Troy SR71.
We're just visiting.
Shalom, Sister Kate, and Child says over D bus.
Over D bus. Over D bus.
Hello.
You're in California, right? Over D bus. Very, very supportive.
No, he's over the bus.
I know he's in California.
He says yes.
But see, over the bus, are you having any like public health statements in your area? Because there are live cases of corona in California.
I don't think that's correct.
There are, but I'm not saying they're in the general public. I mean, I know for a fact there's some military bases being used to quarantine some people in California.
May God's will be done. Maybe His will is for everyone to prepare. ... Not scared, says David Campbell.
Yeah, no, I don't think any of us need to be scared right now. I don't think there's anything to be scared of. I think we be prepared and we keep our eye on what's happening with the. You have to be smart. You have to understand the ramifications of if it gets really growing big, how it's going to affect your local area, because you know most little towns, and NWA Prepper can correct me on that, have their own like emergency preparedness person, and there is a state, not hierarchy, but like there's already an organization set up.
Wes S thinks we are funny. Overdy Bus says we are in SoCal and nobody cares about it yet.
Okay.
Albo 5 says 5 cases of Corona, 2 cases of Bud Light, etc., etc.
Hey, Albo, that's Al.
Oh, hey, Al.
Yeah, Albo, Al. Yeah. Dude. Right?
Wait, Al like Doc Al?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Al.
Yeah, one of the youngsters. Long time no see. But yeah, like your county has an emergency preparedness kind of
Contact
coordinator,
person,
and they have a state person above them. So whatever happens in your local area is going to go through that apparatus first, and the CDC will like send their directives out to them, and then it's up to them to do the local not variety, not instigation, but you know, to put those policies in place locally and then deal with local issues.
Implementation.
Implementation, that's exactly right. That's what I was thinking of. So it behooves you to know what's going on in your local area.
Somebody comments and says they have 2 cans of Lysol.
Lysol's a disinfectant. Hey,
Sustainable Steward, my husband goes to work, but when he no longer will be making our once a month toilet paper, toothpaste supply stop, we order online and have delivered. No more public placed toll. This blows over for us.
Right. And that's going to be pretty much everybody. Like, you're not going to want to go to your Walmart. You're not going to want to go where lots of people will have been. You're going to want to stay at your place as much as you can and be as sustainable as you can.
Let's see. They'll just wall up the state. LOL, says Liberty Bus. Biddy Boo says everyone needs to give this video a thumbs up. Chad Atkins, hello young ladies, safe travels and be blessed.
Thank you, shalom.
Cheetos, Sugar Creek Homestead of Tennessee gives a thumbs up. Y'all hear they're burning people alive in China. This is not correct. You can go online and you can read more about this. They use NASA satellite imagery, which some site non-reputable got a hold of and then extrapolated this information from. However, if you look at Wuhan from well before this virus struck, their number of, I forget what the chemical is, but they're releasing, is always high. That is not correct. Heard about it on Peak Prosperity. I just ate at a Thai restaurant today. I ain't scared too much, says L. Thank God, says David the Viking.
Well,
thank good.
Al, you're a smart fella too. Like, I know you're not going to be super concerned.
Teresa Zhukovitz says hi.
Hey Teresa, shalom. Welcome to the live stream. We are sun's going to start setting soon, and then they won't be able to see us that much.
Mm-hmm.
What have you guys heard? What is your latest on the corona? Because we do our studies too, but I've been really busy this last 24 hours.
Stacy says we're hard to tell by our voice.
I know, right? We sound a lot alike.
I know, right?
I know, right?
We sound a lot alike.
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 I just love talk to text. Oh, yeah, I think he was trying to say thank God, and it's thank good.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. I keep adjusting it so they can see you.
Yeah.
And stuff. Keep your eyes on the red.
I am. What have you guys read? What have you heard besides they're burning people alive?
Yes.
Which is not true.
What other things have you heard about the
corona.
virus?
Right. I mean, what are the numbers for today? Has anybody got that?
Biddy Boo says her latest is she just tries to stay home.
Mm-hmm.
Heard that if you get it or the flu, it might kill you, but then again, so can food poisoning, right? And the flu has thus far killed more people, and it does every year. But the flu is not as scary as a novel coronavirus from China.
Which is going worldwide. I mean, Italy quarantined 12 villages, and that was a in-country transmission. It wasn't a Wuhan transmission.
That's
like
right.
someone there had it and gave it to somebody else, and they shut down 12 villages.
Al says he heard a 35% drop in Chinese GDP, potentially.
Yeah.
Italy has somewhere around 250 cases. The last thing I heard was 150. They have yet to find the original case.
Oh,
So they're not sure who their patient zero is.
wow. That's kind of an issue.
Italy is a drama queen, LOL.
What are you talking about? You're sick. You're not sick. Eat some spaghetti.
Very interesting things being said by several county EMs
Is
in
that
Oklahoma. Okie Storm Chaser.
Travis? Okay.
Oklahoma. Concerning quarantines and fear hoarding. Wait a minute, is Okie Storm Chaser the
Mike.
Yeah, with the chef and all that. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Mike.
What's up, brother?
Manufacturing was stopped until sometime in March, says Overdie Bus.
Right. I mean, the economic ramifications are going to be huge for China and everyone else. Because where they aren't producing things, it's an opportunity for somebody else to say, I'll set a factory up and make bobby pins.
Unless you also have the coronavirus among your workers.
Oh my gosh!
What if the world just has to go without new bobby pins
Hey,
for like a year?
yeah. I'll just start whittling my own.
How would you survive? Gosh, I sure hope they don't have to open factories in the USA.
Oh, are you?
That's Wes S. Wondering if US will begin more manufacturing, question mark, says Starchild.
Right?
About X, maybe, quote unquote, made in America will come back with pride, says Al.
Right? I mean, it is, if I were an entrepreneur and I was in a town that I knew had some kind of factory, I'd certainly be looking at, okay, how much would it cost me to get that guy up and running now?
But you'd also want to worry about the death rate for the flu, says David the Viking.
Sure.
Let's see. I think David the Viking's doing talk to text, so I don't think we're getting his full message out.
Okay.
Lady the Lake says, hi, Sister Kate. Hi,
Hey,
everyone.
shalom.
But the manufacturing, though, too, you'd have to wonder, for how long is this virus going to go on before China's back up and running, and then they'd be undercutting you on prices. So,
Right, but
the
then
investment
you
versus
fail,
the
or
whatever.
you sell, or you
Sure.
switch your factory to making something else. But in the meantime, I mean, it's almost like being someone making money during wartime.
Oh, no, absolutely. I'm just saying that would be one thing
Right.
to consider in your business model.
Yes, it would.
Said for a long time, we are too dependent on imports, says
Exactly.
Starchild.
Exactly. We have been for a long time. So opportunity is knocking, sort of. I mean, if you had a thing and you could start making face masks right now,
There is a
doing it.
factory in Texas who does make face masks, and they've recently ramped up their production, and they're, selling.
right? It's flying off the shelves,
Right.
as it would be.
Right. They can sell as much as they can make.
Painkillers, respiratory meds.
I'm done. Talk to text is to da. Okay, Storm Chaser. U.S. cases above 50. U.S. cases above 50 officially today. More from the cruise ship.
Yeah.
Rumored/conspiracy says above 1,000 in the U.S. Either way, it's not a problem unless the healthcare system becomes overwhelmed.
Right, which this is nowhere near overwhelming it. Not even close.
Right. Another quote-unquote problem for the U.S. for us in the USA is that almost all raw materials come to the States from China for the
Right.
companies that still put stuff together here. That's correct.
Right. I mean, you'd have to start smelting and mining ore and, you know, making metal and everything for parts.
Wes says, make sure we stop at Allsup's, which is the local chain of gas stations, and get a fried burrito. Over D bus, possible manufacturing will come back here, not likely. Over D bus, I agree with you on that.
I mean, it's right. It's a narrow window there.
My husband works for the #1 vitamin manufacturer in the US. 90% of the ingredients come from China. Supply is okay now, but they're saying delays 3 to 4 weeks.
Sure.
The horror. No bobby pins, says Deborah. I just bought a greenhouse. Really, I want to be more food independent, says Sugar Creek Homestead.
Sugar Creek Homestead, I am so on board with that. I mean, even if there weren't an emergency, your homegrown food is just better for you than something's coming from a store.
Yes, tastes better too. There
Tastes
is
better.
746 cases under observation
Right.
in Washington State,
Right.
says Sarah
That's
Hoskins. So
the
not
scary.
confirmed,
Right.
possible.
That's the
Right.
scary thing, because Brother Tim, who is in that area, said there is a person walking around who's supposed to be self-quarantining, and he's not, and there's no health warnings or anything about this guy. He's just walking out in the general public, and so
I thought he said that he was meant to be self-quarantining, but there's no one checking in that he was.
maybe that's what it was, but it sounds very, very like they're not on top of that.
Okie Storm
situation.
Chaser suspects that there are not clean burritos available at the Allsup's. He says he thinks they've broken. We do not eat things like fried burritos, so I don't think we're in any danger. Sprout seeds this week, says Every Bus. I don't know
Yeah.
if he's saying to do it or
Yeah.
if they did it.
One or the other.
Yeah.
You should sprout them now, right. I mean, who planted potatoes?
That was me. I did that.
She just got her potatoes in. You gotta have them in by St. Patty's Day.
Beef and bean burritos, fried in vegetable oil. Over Bus. Oh, says they did. They sprouted their seeds this week.
There you go. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want.
What item that you currently buy and comes from China could you not live without for a year if their manufacturing goes down the tank and no one makes it in the United States?
Right.
Comment below.
Red cups.
Red Solo cup.
Right? I mean,
I lift you up.
white
All right.
t-shirts, socks, gloves.
Sustainable Steward says, let's look for the good in this. U.S. farmers get more local support.
Yep.
And I mean, they already have government subsidies. And buy local off our own farms. We
Yes.
have to stop this globalist food system.
Yep.
There's a reason why Excedrin was pulled off all the shelves in the USA and nobody knows why. Question mark. The timing is very interesting and the drugs come from ground zero in China. Might be time to stock up on undies, socks, shoes, coats. Don't run out of clothing necessities if China shuts down, says Lady of the Lake.
That's what I was thinking, Lady of the Lake. Like the gloves I was just wearing earlier today, I bought for, $2 at the
But surely
dollar
you have
store
many
or
other
something.
pairs of gloves.
And I can
This is
repair
America.
gloves.
Everyone has lots of gloves and coats and undies, more than you could possibly need, right?
I don't know. I mean, the undies don't last for years and years. You kind of
Well, if you patch them up, look, do without or make it do, or whatever that saying is. Sheepdog Patriot says, hi Momo and hello everyone.
Shalom, Sheepdog Patriot.
And Ammo says Al. And
Ammo, you could
Madakit, somebody like that.
you could get reloading stuff for that.
Mad
right?
Kelt says
Mad
hello.
Kelt. Hey, Mad Kelt. He looks kind of like
Right.
Rufaj, by the way. But yeah, you could do reloading of your own ammo and all that stuff for a long time, and then all of a sudden it was really hard to get the little cap at the back end of it.
Yeah.
Because it's explosive. And so it made it harder for people to reload.
Make patterns of undies and sew your own when needed, says Biddy Boo. There we go. That's the spirit.
Well, right.
Susan Bryant says hello. Okay, let me.
You should just.
I texted him and I told him what the deal was.
He's still trying to get a food in.
Well, I don't see.
He probably wants to do the thing with the kitties.
Well,
We won't stay on that long either. We'll
right
only be
after
on-
after we get home, we can do that thing.
Right, we'll be on the live stream for like an hour.
Oh, for crying out loud. Here we go. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Primers, says Al.
Yeah, primers. That's
Right.
the thing, Al. Yeah, they were. You could get them everywhere, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, it's a hazardous material, or
Lady of the Lake says, what will the pizza people eat? They can't cook. They will starve, Lady of the Lake. They will have to lose weight.
they're gonna have to go out and cut the grain and roll it and mill it, and then make their own.
They will
dough.
plant the pizza trees, and then they will pick their pizzas off of the trees.
Exactly.
Hi, Sister Kate. Caught you barely, says the lamp keeper.
Hey, lamp keeper, shalom.
I will eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, says Al.
Well, and again, you're a smart fellow. I mean, you could probably make your own bread, right? I know Wes S. will not starve. That man makes meals out of tin cans. I'm just saying, like the actual tin.
Oh, people say they think there's a Sasquatch in the magazine.
There
Zucky,
is a Sasquatch.
let me get a Zucky, come here. Let
Come
me
here,
get
Zoc.
a picture of him for the.
Come here, Zoc.
buddy. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Hi,
the
Zoc.
big goober.
There's his appearance.
Yes.
That's
That's our bodyguard.
Spaz Mama says, "Hey everyone, hi Sister Kate."
Shalom.
Civilization was invented before something else.
Are we taking that turn right there, or are we going straight? I guess we're
Straight.
going straight.
You're going straight.
All right.
Pizza trees. Hi, Sister Kate. Spaz Mama. I have lots of wool. I'm sending in to make wool socks and a few sweaters. I can knit fast enough. Sustainable Stores.
Of course
Sustainable
you do.
Stores.
She is awesome.
She sounds like she's really squared away.
She really is squared away. I can knit too, Sustainable Steward, and I will be able to make socks. They won't be great. They'll probably look more like a boot, but I can do it. I researched it and tried it, a couple of years ago.
I have to stop at Cabela's and get socks on my way to Oklahoma for the mission, says Mad Kilt.
There you go. And you stock up on them, brother. Sometimes they have a deal. You get about 20 pair while you're there. I think I was wearing Cabela's socks yesterday.
If you fast for about 3 days, your body will convert from burning glucose to ketones, fat. Right, you'll enter ketosis. I have plenty of ketones to burn, says Al.
Guilty.
Biddy Boo says she can crochet a bit if she has to. No, if she has to, she'll do it and she'll get the hang of it. LOL.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, crocheting, because you can do round stuff with crocheting, you can figure it out pretty quick, I think. Yeah. Oh, boy. Yep.
I will just take socks off the dead folks. 2 for the bother is cheaper than 4 for $1.
Come on, man. You're not going to want to get near them. They're going to have that virus.
Overdie Bo says, did Pastor Joe Fox do a sermon this Shabbat, question mark?
He did not. We did a Torah study instead, and he did not want that filmed. So, if you have nothing going on, then look up this week's Torah study and take a look at that. It's a good question.
People are talking about their various and sundry knitting and crocheting skills.
Who's knitted a whole sweater? I want to know. Because I have not done that yet.
People are discussing undies in the comments still. They really like this.
Dude, I mean, I did some historical research recently, and the women just didn't even bother. They had petticoats. You just wear a petticoat, a lightweight one in the summer, 3 or 4 flannel ones in the winter, and that's good enough. Just saying. Like under a big skirt.
They know that we are now in Texas.
Oh, what? There's lots of space here. Lots and lots of space.
Actually, I don't have a clue what's going on. I just thought I'd chime in with my talent since everyone else was.
Who is that?
A lamp keeper. Not just you, lamp keeper. Everyone else was saying I can crochet or I can knit or I can't or I have done this thing. I made a sweater once.
Who said that?
Wes. I used my daughter's hands and stuff, but I was in on it in spirit. Biddy Boo says she sees pantaloons coming back when shit hits the fan. LOL.
Hey, right? They're pretty dang practical. I'm just saying. I can also see that kind of nursing coming back where you're boiling your clothes out in a big cauldron to sterilize them.
Well, yeah, you'd have to.
Well, washing
Look, let's be real. The coronavirus is not going to deprive every American of a washing machine. Right? You don't need to buy a new washing machine every year. Let's be
honest.
We've had very few people comment what item that is currently made in China they could not do without if they stopped the manufacturing. What else?
What do you cannot live without that you know is manufactured?
3306.
That's right.
We need to turn left. Was that it?
Yes.
We missed our turn.
Drive safe. God bless. That's okay. Colleen. No. Susan says she can sew on a button.
Okay.
Probably knit a couple fig leaves together.
But what comes from China that you can't do without?
Overdy Bus says, kill. I think he's talking about what to wear, though. That's about it. I have a Wonder Wash to do laundry.
The Wonder Washes work pretty good. There's a lot of cranking going on there, but they work pretty good. There you go.
That's right. That's the dream.
That's the dream. You can all around yourself and safety
Right.
it.
Right now her computer says Biddy Boo. She could not do without the computer.
3306.
Oh, good point, Biddy Boo. And on all of our phones, right? Aren't all the phones made overseas?
Yes, but we're not going to run out of our... Your phone's not going to just explode if coronavirus...
No, it's not, but I had to get a new one recently because I dropped it in the water and they're in short supply.
Take the next right onto Ranch Road
How am I
3306.
going to do a live stream?
Lamp Keeper says toothbrushes.
Right?
You could probably use the toothbrush you have for a year. You'd probably be set.
We have a staff.
Continue for 12 miles.
And there's different, reeds. You know what I'm saying. You can make,
Yeah,
you can make a...
sassafras root,
Yeah, absolutely.
things like that. You can go old school and
Right.
make do with.
Can't do without cough drops. I've been buying buckets of them, says Madcal. Momo, what are some maybe natural kind of remedies that you can use for
Lemon
a cough?
and honey. Blackberry root is a really good astringent that will shrink swollen, inflamed tissue. Peppermint, spearmint, menthol. You can grow those things.
Let's see. Sarah Hoskins says her phone. You
Right.
just have to be careful not to shatter the screen for a year.
Right.
A Chinese item I can't do without replacement iPhone cables, says Oki Storm Chaser.
Boom. And look, we get these from Zenny Optical. They are from China. They are cheap, but prescription glasses. Like,
Right.
to buy them here in the States, probably $400 a pair.
Smartphone screens. I can't knit, but I can tan hides, says Sugar Creek Homestead.
Sugar Creek, then you will not be butt naked.
Antibiotics, says Oki Storm Chaser. Surely we make some. Pfizer's got to make antibiotics. But that would be very important.
Would be super important.
Guess thing I will miss is the free stuff to review, LOL, says Biddy Boo.
You got gloves and you got a coat,
Mhm.
like phone holders and all sorts of stuff.
Rubbermaid totes.
Dude.
Yeah. Someone's saying you can make a toothbrush out of willow.
Yes, you
Yeah.
can.
5-gallon buckets, garden hose, and toilet plunger can't be beat, says Lady Blake.
Right, go to Dollar General right now and buy all these things. Go to Dollar Tree and clean them out.
Echinacea, she says is good for, Sarah Hoskins says it's good for the throat.
Right, and you can, it's the purple coneflower. You can grow that yourself.
Ginger cough drops, I was waiting for somebody to say ginger.
Ginger, you can grow your own ginger too.
Doc B has joined, he says late to the party.
Shalom, Doc B. I don't know how much longer we're going to be on because we're losing the light.
Mad Kelt has had a message redacted. Plastic bags, been studying a little on herbology. Marshmallow root is good for congestion.
Good.
Okay, Shalom, 40 years ago I made my oldest baby clothes. LOL, only making scarves now, says Wanda Lee. Mint is a weed. You can't stop it from growing,
That's
says
right.
Al.
You plant that guy and it's going to keep on going.
Someone says clove in addition to honey
That's
and
right.
ginger.
Clove is also good for the mouth stuff, but clove comes from where? India?
Yeah.
Oh, Ceylon or something? Where do cloves come
I don't know where cloves come from.
Where do cloves come from? You guys tell us.
Colleen.
Rhodemer?
Yep, so she can crochet
Good.
and she can cook.
Good.
Bill can cook.
You will be having no problems. Because not that much of our food comes from China, right?
Time for books on plants being medicine, says Over the Bus.
Over the Bus, National Geographic has healing plants on its latest edition, and it's in stores now.
In stores now.
So, and they already did 3 other ones that I talked about when they came out.
Lampkeeper says everyone is worrying about shortages. Are they closing China? Question mark. I think we're just musing. Let's see. Clove, honey, ginger, natural throat. Yep.
Yes.
Oh, Lynch Slay says hello.
Lynchley, she's a native. Yay.
Hello.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Lady of the Lake says that she would miss China tea. Chinese tea.
Oh, right. We would only be able to get Indian tea.
Tinfoil and Ziploc bags.
I think the rest he makes a tinfoil here now.
Yeah, I was about to say I think tinfoil's U.S. The Kraken says it looks like we are in Oklahoma.
It does look like Oklahoma out in the western part, doesn't it?
Sugar Creek says they're losing signal.
Yep.
FYI, many of our canning jars are made in China, including the big names. Buy up, says Sustainable Stewards.
Yep. Always. You cannot run out of uses for canning jars.
Yep. Biddy Boo's been stocking up on the buck-a-yard materials.
Smart.
Yeah.
That is so smart. Because material is one of those things, it's very specialized. You gotta have the cotton, or you've gotta have the wool, spinning, and all that.
Cloves come from Indonesia.
Right? So get your cloves, get them now.
People are discussing the topography of Oklahoma and West Texas. All of the rural grocery stores out here are getting bare shelves, including the Walmart. Medicine is all gone, says Lynch Slay. Where's she at?
Where are you at? I forgot your location exactly.
Yeah, where are you at?
And are you getting health notices about what to do if the virus comes to your area?
Susan Bryan, it was not a book, it is a National Geographic publication. So they're a magazine and you can buy them at the store.
Right. They're being displayed at our local stores. It's like healing herbs or natural healing. Or
Right.
something.
So you should be able to buy that at like a Walmart or maybe even a gas station.
Right.
Lots of food that is made or quote unquote caught in USA is shipped and processed in China. So some of our food does quote unquote come from China. Absolutely. Indonesia, right for clove.
Right.
Looks
Ramen
like
noodles.
Nebraska or Kansas. It
does look like Nebraska.
Here, I gotta hold this a little closer because our vision's going down. Yeah. Hey, Biddy made a Mountain Man shirt. A yellow one with flowers. I think India will be hit hard, very densely populated. Yeah. Yeah, get it, or if Africa, that could be pretty rough.
Right. And Iran has already had, 25 deaths or something? Iran's had a lot of deaths for the amount of people who got it.
Yeah.
Which tells me their infrastructure for the medical side of it is probably really bad.
The Kraken guesses we are in eastern Colorado. I've got somewhere between 500 to 600 canning jars, ... No lids, though. That's my next goal.
You know, you can also use wax. And it's something that, our forefathers did. They made pickled stuff in crocks on the counter and did not cover that. Because the vinegar, the salt in there would keep anything from spoiling it.
Lynch says she's on the Navajo res.
That's what I thought. So we're actually a little bit closer to where you might be. So you guys could quarantine yourselves from everything around you on a reservation. You just shut your roads down and be like, you sick people stay out there.
Troy says he's guessing we are in Nevada or California. That's right, we're going to Vegas, baby. Yeah!
We're going to go visit over the bus.
You're all in the middle of Mennonite country now.
Oh, maybe.
We grow lots of rice in the Texas Gulf Coast.
It's
Rice
true.
is a good
And
staple.
in eastern Arkansas, there's a lot of rice grown there too. And Salina, California, tons of stuff is grown in that whole area.
You can keep eggs in water for months on the counter.
Yes, you can. And you can get this glass coating that goes over them and it'll keep them good for months too.
Carrie Thompson says, I've got to get further away from the highway and people to keep away diseases.
Yes, it's really hard to be quarantining yourself if you're near a major road.
Yep. Lynch Slay says, I talked to the grocery store manager and she said they don't know when or if they'll get stuff in. Only things getting resupplied are water, dairy, meats, and fresh veggies and fruits. Well, you can preserve fresh veggies and fruits.
Dehydrate it all. Dehydrate it all now.
Yep, and ferment. It's a sustainable student.
Yes, you can ferment lots of foods and they're very good for you. And obviously, plant your own gardens. Plant something. Have container gardens if you have to.
Lynch says it looks like we're in New Mexico. Very good guess.
Very good guess.
I honestly can't think of anything that we... hang on, the arrow's right in the way. That we get from China that we can't reproduce here. I agree.
I agree. I think Americans can, with, stick-to-itiveness or whatever, produce what we need.
Sure. Oh, nope, that's the same comment. You are far west of Dallas-Fort Worth. Sun here went down 30 minutes ago. Listen, what if we were in the southern hemisphere and we were much further east?
Panama!
No, that's got to be right. That's got to be equatorial. No, they're north. Panama's northern hemisphere. Because the equator runs through Ecuador, which is much further to the south.
Okay, fine.
All right, look, yes, we're very far west of Dallas-Fort Worth. That was very astute.
Very astute.
We're stocked up, but stocking up more to feed others in our area, says Lynch Slay. Very smart.
Very smart. And I love the community-mindedness of that.
Susan Bryant says, last question. Would you consider doing a video for pandemic preparedness? Hey, whoops. There we go. What to store, would like to hear your ideas. So that would be a later video. You and Pastor Joe might do one. That would probably... People would probably appreciate a video like that.
Sure. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you want to tell them about the little documentary on Netflix, the pandemic thing?
There is a documentary. I think I've already said it before.
Oh,
There is
probably.
a documentary on Netflix called Pandemic that I find is a very interesting, that it came out just like a month or two before this thing hit. But it does talk about like what was done for SARS and how they, research stuff and how vaccines are made and so on. If you have Netflix, it's probably worth a peek. And I also told them about that book on the 1918.
In half a mile, turn around to
How
Fort
about a
Martin,
video on
57.
making soap? New Balances are made out of the state of Maine, made in the U.S. Never been west of the Mississippi, so my guess is anywhere between the Rockies and the Mississippi. That is correct.
That is correct.
Although, listen, our location keeps getting broadcast from what our director's
that
saying,
thing
so we
is-
should probably end this chat.
Yeah,
We've been on it for 50
Right.
minutes.
All right, we gotta go. We're losing the sunlight. Thank you
Take the
guys
next
for
right
dropping
onto Farm to
in.
Market.
Bye, everybody. Take
Thank
care.
you guys. Shalom.
Bye-bye.
We got
Okay.
to go.
Are you sure you want to stop?
Yes.
Yes, I want